5, 6, 7, 8. It's a mess. Oh, it's a mess.
Hello, everybody, and
Oh, it's a
welcome to the
mess.
podcast. It's a
Oh,
mess,
it's a
sis. So, what
mess.
exactly is a mess?
Oh,
A
it's a
mess is a
mess.
situation or a state of
Oh,
affairs
it's a
that is
mess.
confused or full of difficulties.
It's a
The
mess.
mess is when things don't go the
Oh,
way
it's a
you plan.
mess.
It is when you have to go off script,
5,
improvise,
6,
ad
7.
lib, sit through the
It's a
awkwardness,
mess.
and breathe through the pain until you
Oh, it's
come
a
out on the other
mess.
side, because you will come out
It's a
on the other
mess.
side. It is everything that makes
Oh, it's
life
a
interesting
mess.
and transformative. It is
Oh,
what
it's
we
a
are here to do.
mess.
It is how we learn
Oh,
how
it's a
to be.
mess.
So, join us as we
Oh, it's a
dive into this
mess.
week's mess.
Oh, it's a mess. Oh. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's a mess, sis. This is my favorite podcast. So, I'm Jessica, and I am a mess. I have spent my entire life chasing perfection only to realize that there is no such thing. And chasing it has led me down a road to misery. I now know that peace and alignment should be my goal in all that I do. Through these episodes, I've been able to explore my deepest fears and my wildest fantasies, and I hope you guys will join me for the ride and do the same.
All right. Hey everyone, my name is Rena. I'm your other co-host, and I'm just out here living. I currently reside in the DMV. I am a content producer, writer, feeler, thinker. I just like making things and being creative. I've been on my own personal self-development journey for the past few years, and I'm using this as an outlet to share what I've learned, struggled with, and what I continue to absorb because I believe that not only can it help myself, but it can help others who resonate with my stories and experiences. I'm also working to develop my vision and purpose in life, which I've narrowed down to talking and writing and loving on people and getting paid while doing it. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Period. And that's a little bit about us. And now we're going to bring you on in because you guys are joining us for episode 36 entitled, Do You Believe in Miracles?
Eh, eh, eh.
Um, oh, you was going to add some more? Go ahead and sing for
No,
them.
no, that's it. I
That was
told you
it.
in our outro, I can't sing.
You a mess. Okay, so yeah, this is episode 36. Do you believe in miracles? And we'll dive a little bit more into that in just a little bit. But before we do, we have a segment that we call What's the Mess? And so I'm going to ask Rena, what is your mess?
All right. So my mess is that I actually accepted a job offer.
Woo
Right.
woo!
And I'm low key excited about it.
That's fucking
You
dope.
know, I had a lot of options, but this is the one that resonated with me. And it's just weird to be in this space of working again. I've been doing internships and really exploring and trying to figure out what I want to do, what I want to give my energy to, and what's going to give me what I need in return, which is essentially space and room to be myself authentically and to still be able to create. And I feel like I found that space. I've been really selective about working to the
Yeah.
point where I'm like, do I just not want to work?
I mean, that's me. I don't.
Yeah. You know what? I want to work. I want to do work, but I don't want to do work that feels like work. I want work that's
Mm,
gonna use my natural talents and interests and abilities. And I think that's where I'm headed. So
yeah, yeah. Well,
I'm about
that's
to have a
dope.
right, about to have a full time with benefits or some
Look at
benefits.
you being a whole grown up.
Right, a whole grown up again. I'm like, Lord, I didn't want to grow up the first time,
But at
but
least
I
this
don't know.
time you've got a little understanding about yourself. I think that's the beauty of continuing to get older. It's just that you got a little bit more understanding of yourself. And so this time around you're going to be able to like actually do something that's closer, more closely aligned to something that you might not mind doing frequently often. You might find joy in it, and I think that's the cool thing about continuing to grow. Like, yeah, maybe we don't want to work, but since we have to, finding something that is more closely aligned to what you would do naturally,
Right,
it's dope.
right. It
Yeah,
is dope. It is
yeah,
dope. And I think I've grown a lot. And I think the key thing is I'm going into this job not trying to make it my identity.
yeah.
I have a more clear understanding of why I'm taking the job
Mm-hmm.
and its place in my life.
Yeah,
And because before it was like my career was my life.
yeah. It makes
And
sense
I'm
like
very
that.
clear that that's, huh?
I mean, just society in general. It's like, oh, what do you do? And that's the end of the questioning. That's like, oh, but that's not who I am, though. You don't.
Right.
I mean, that ain't shit. That's like, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And then I just got a few more things. So I had your girl had a narrow miss with COVID. I'm clear.
Ooh, congratulations.
It's really allergies, so I'm still a little stuffy. That
Wow.
was
On cue.
right.
Wow.
This cough is like I'm gonna let it be known I'm here. Um,
Right.
so I had a little anxiety last week about
Mm,
that. Last week was also my birthday, so I really like it was a good week. Even though I had to cancel my plans because I wanted to make sure I was COVID free before going out there into the world.
yeah.
Um, it still worked out for me. I had a lot of people reach out to me. I really felt the love, and it's really dope because like I'm just realizing I have some really dope people in my corner. And my last birthday, I just COVID again had really kicked up, and I was still there was still a lot of loneliness and grief, and then to kind of be in a different space
Yeah.
this year, um, it was a really great birthday with
That's
friends,
dope.
and I really felt embraced, and appreciated, and
Aw,
I yeah yeah
that's so
yeah real
nice.
yeah I got some real like genuine and kind words. I'm like, oh, that's how y'all feel about me, like, oh
Oh, that's so nice. I love
yeah.
that. I love that.
And I hit on the sneakers app for like the first time in 6 months.
Now explain, because I don't know what you mean by that.
So Nike, they have like an
Uh-huh.
application
Okay,
where
wow.
they post shoes,
Uh-huh.
like an apparatus that you put on your
Oh,
foot.
okay. Now you're going too
So
far. I'm just saying, what do you mean you hit on it?
meaning actually I won the opportunity to purchase a pair of shoes from them.
Boy,
When I
this is the
say it like that, it
craziest shit.
sounds sad.
Exactly. It's crazy. I won the opportunity to give them my money. What? But I'm that's cool though, because that's your thing. That's what you love.
Right, right.
So
And I
it's like
had
you
no
got the
idea.
lottery, right? It's like the lottery type of thing.
Really, I thought they would have a draw for this shoe. For anybody who's a sneakerhead listening, it's the Air Max One Clot Retro. Um, yeah, if you know, you know.
Okay.
And I thought it was going to be a draw, and it wasn't. I literally just went in and put in my payment information, my size, and hit, purchase. And they were like, okay, you're in line, and we'll let you know if you won. And they pushed me through. I'm like, no bot. It was fully manual. I think that's manual. Like I didn't have any assistance. I
Mm,
did this with my
on
own,
your own.
just my own finger, you
Ah,
know?
you feel proud of that.
I do. I think Nike is just showing me mercy because it's like it was my birthday week, and they were like, let's just throw her something to
That's
keep
my
her buying.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because it's
yeah.
a tactic, but it's working because y'all be doing it. But here's the thing: it's so interesting how there's a whole subset of people who knew exactly what you were talking about, and I had zero idea. I was lost to the max. Like I had no idea. I mean, I know now, and I think that's dope. I think that's dope. I'm glad that you were able to have a lovely celebration, be embraced, buy your shoes. All in all, a good birthday, except for the
Right.
you miss with COVID. But you
I
don't have it,
mean,
so then, yeah,
exactly. That was a good thing too. And I,
yeah.
I got I got the job offer on my birthday.
Did
So
you?
yeah. So
Oh,
that was a
that's
present to
nice.
myself. Yep.
Oh, that's so nice. Come through, birthday. This is a good birthday this
Right.
year.
It was. It
Let
was.
me give
It
you a little
was.
birthday song.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you last week. Happy birthday to you last week. Okay, that's it. That's all y'all get.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know what? I appreciate that so much. That's gonna be our clip
Wow.
on Wednesday.
I love it. Okay, yeah. Dope. Because that is a miracle that you got that out of me. Which is our
And I didn't
topic.
even have which is our topic. But before we get into it, your mess,
Oh,
your
right. I almost
mess.
forgot. I almost forgot. So my mess this week is that my work-life balance is trash. It is trash this week. Those of you who are new, I am in a musical and it started filming this week. and it feels all encompassing. Like I have to put so much mind energy, body energy, like spirit energy. I have to put a lot of that into the project. And I love, love, love what I am doing. Like this is just crazy to me that I'm doing it. Like it's wild to be living in your fantasy and your dream and like recognizing it. Like I am totally in awe and an understanding that this is what I've been wanting and dreaming and wishing for forever. But saying that, it does take a certain amount of energy and time, which then takes or makes less time rather for other things, like naturally. I feel like, you put energy here, you're not going to be able to put it there type of thing. And I guess the thing that's been suffering where I haven't been putting my energy is like actual work for money.
Mm.
And like I don't care. And that kind of freaks me out a little bit because bills. Like I just really wish I was independently wealthy already because needing to go to work to pay bills and working for my passion is wearing me the fuck out. Like I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. I am so tired. And then my other passion, the podcast. So like I've been rearranging and trying to like do all this, to make sure that we're getting this stuff out to you guys because this is so much fun for me. I love this. This is a little bit of therapy for me every week. Seeing you guys in the lives is always so exciting, and I'm always like, overjoyed for it. So I have this, I have work, and it's just a lot. Um, and so at the same time, though, I also have this immense amount of like gratitude and excitement that comes from living, like I said earlier, like living this life. Like I'm actually living it. Like the other day I was walking home. So this week it's been like a 4 to midnight week every day for filming. And I got home and it's like 12:30, almost 12:45. And I'm just walking and I'm smiling. I'm like, bitch, you tired as fuck. But like, you just love set. You just fucking love set. And I've been meeting so many incredible people. There's so many people that want to put me on to people that they know to help enhance my career and things like that. And I'm just, I can't even begin to express the amount of gratefulness that I have in my heart. I feel like I can just feel it radiating from my body. But also what's radiating is exhaustion. So I'm just working. The mess is I'm recognizing the balance. There is a balance. I'm having to work for money because, again, I'm not independently wealthy. I don't have anybody that I can just rely on and be like, hey, can you just, for these next 6 months, can you just, maybe take care of this or whatever? I don't have that. And so having to do both of those things it's a lot. And it kind of makes me like, should I get another type of job that's not so manual? So I do like app work, so like your Postmates or your Instacarts or things like that. And so that takes a lot of body labor. But it's also very rewarding to be able to make my own schedule. So it's just like I said, the work-life balance is just, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm trying to piece it together to figure out how do I get the most out of all of these experiences and all of these things that I'm doing. So yeah, that's my mess this week. It's a
I
lot.
mean, I mean, yes, it is a lot. It seems like you're doing a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff that you want to do. Um, and just because you're feeling tired, I don't want you to worry that you feel like having that experience and acknowledging that you're somehow not being grateful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And I only bring it up because you're like, I am so grateful. And it almost sounds like a disclaimer right before you say I'm tired. And it's like, it's okay for you to be both. Like
Mm,
you're keeping up with the work, but it's taking a toll on your body. That's a
mhm,
fact.
mhm.
And you're going to figure it out. And I think
Yeah.
acknowledging that you're tired is going to help you figure it out. It's going to help
Yeah.
you, like you just said it now, like, should I get a different type of job? It's going to help you strategize. You just got
Yeah.
to shift some pieces. But if you're not honest with yourself about being tired, then you won't shift those pieces and then you'll
Mm,
wear yourself into the ground. So I'm glad because for you, it is very hard for you to get to a point where you acknowledge that you're tired.
yeah.
That's my observation of you.
Yeah. It's true. It's
So
a good observation.
this right here is growth
It is.
to me.
It is. And I've been taking the time. Like I haven't fully worked in a while. I worked a little bit last week and then I was like, okay, well I have to focus on this. I have to, I had to get ready to make sure that I have all of my outfits together, to make sure I have my lines thing. Oh, and then last week I was in the studio. So it was like this week is filming, but last week I was in the studio from 4 to midnight or 4 to 12 or whatever, or that's the same thing, 4 to 10. So it was just a lot. So I have been just kind of like relaxed on the work front. I mean, I'm saying this, I have a little, I recognize the privilege in being able to be relaxed on the work front. I have a little bit that can make up for it for these couple of weeks. And so I am using it as a caveat to say that I'm grateful because I don't want it to appear to the universe or anyone else that I am not. I am. And you're absolutely right. Both of those things could be true.
Right.
One doesn't take away from the other. And I do acknowledge that also.
Right. And it
Yeah.
sounds like you have a strategy, but you just haven't fully accepted what your strategy is, which is you want to focus. I mean, I think you started out this year talking about prioritizing things.
Ooh.
And right
Wow.
now, you're prioritizing your creative work,
Mm-hmm.
and that's dipping into your physical work, your
Yeah.
material work, so
Yeah.
that you can be clothed and fed and housed on
Yeah.
this
Because
willing
those are
planet.
important.
Right, it is important. But it sounds like you've made a decision, but you haven't committed to it.
It's because it's so scary. Because if any of you have been following along, like I work a lot and rest was like very hard for me. And so I don't have the problem with feeling like rest is failure because I'm actually busy doing work. That work doesn't happen to cover my bills. So then I have the understanding like,
Yeah.
okay, rest yet. Hey, glory. Rest doesn't cover my bills yet. Or this work doesn't cover my bills yet. But I am still working. So I don't necessarily feel like rest is failure in this moment. But I do know that rest means that I'm gonna have to figure out a way to pay my bills some other kind of way. If any
Yeah.
of you are sugar fathers or sugar mothers and you would like to sponsor me, holler at your girl.
For the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can sponsor this artist in LA.
I'm
Send
looking
your
for a
donations
sponsor.
to
Donations welcomed.
it's a mess at gmail.com. We take Venmo, Cash App,
Cash
anything
out.
but checks. We don't take
EBT,
checks.
bitch. I take it all. Cause yeah, I gotta get groceries too. I ain't got nothing out here. No, that's a lie. I have everything. I have everything that I need. I've been manifesting just feeling abundant and not feeling in lack. And I think that's been helping with the action of rest. So when I rest, I'm not automatically thinking like, oh God, you're not gonna have da 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 da. What I think of is like you're gonna be rested. You're gonna have the energy you need. You're gonna be able to put on this amazing performance. And when you do, you're gonna have the video footage that you can submit to these managers and agents and get more work. And then from that work, you'll be able to do this and this and this. And the beautiful thing is I'm with people that are like doing this shit. Like they're making their living off this shit. Like one of my friends just moved into her own place after whatever many years of living here. And like now she's like consistently working like this and she just got her own shit. And I'm just like, yes, I fucking aspire. So I'm gonna get there. I talked a lot about this, but yeah, that's my mess this week. So
Just one more thing as we go out.
okay,
It's okay for you to invest in yourself.
that's true.
So think of it that way. You're investing in yourself. If you
Right.
have to dip into savings because your priority is on this creative endeavor because that's what you really want to do, you're paying yourself, you're investing.
Right. That is the
You asking for these sugar mamas out here, be your own.
ew. I'm just playing. Yeah, you're right. Why are you looking like that?
That ew, it was so strong.
I want to be taken care of.
Oh
Take
my
care of
god.
me. Help me. No, I'm just playing.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, right along. So as you'll remember, the episode this week is titled "Do You Believe in Miracles?" And we're gonna just give you a little bit about why we did this topic. And for me, I was the one. This is my topic, and so I knew that all these holidays were coming up. So tomorrow is Good Friday. And that is the Friday before Easter, which is a Christian holiday that celebrates the miracle of Jesus's resurrection, right? So while I don't necessarily celebrate that holiday, I did wonder what roles miracles played in our lives. Do we believe? Do we see them? All of that. So why did you agree, Rena?
Well, you brought it to me. You brought this topic up, and I was intrigued as soon as you said it. And I too, of course, I went immediately biblical with it,
Right.
and I'm like, if it's the Easter theme. But as I sat with it more, I feel like it fits just with the theme of our podcast and my walk in life. You
Yeah.
know, at this moment in general, so I welcome the thought process, and I'm always up for learning something new when a unexpected topic comes up. So
So yeah, I was
yes,
really excited about it. So I'm
right.
glad to do this and kind of go through it. And so we'll let the people know what the agenda is for this episode. Rena, go ahead and tell them.
As always, it is to dig it down, which stands for define, impact, and cope. So, this episode, we will provide our personal definitions of a miracle and describe a miraculous moment we each encountered. Then we will discuss the impact of miracles in our lives. And lastly, we talk about how we cope with our understanding, experiences, and feelings concerning miracles. We make each section clearly known, so feel free to pause throughout the sections to give yourself time to answer if you want to. All suggestions, but our podcast is designed for you to follow along. So you can jot down your answers or your thoughts. Just do what feels right for you.
Thank you. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as she said, we're going to make it clearly known, and I want you to know now we are to the definition. So, what exactly is what exactly is a miracle? So, according to Google, a miracle is a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by nature or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. So, I mostly agreed with that.
Okay.
But my personal opinion is that science is miraculous. I feel like they're one and the same. Not always, but a lot of times science can't explain miracles. And sometimes even if it's science, it's still inexplicable, right? So for me, take for instance the placenta when it leaves the womb. The placenta is a combination of veins and arteries that carry nutrients to the baby and also removes waste. Once opened up and placed flat, there is just this like tree. It looks like there's a tree there, right? With like roots, a trunk, branches, just like really like very vividly looks like a tree. It's often called the tree of life. Uh, and I have often found it like miraculous that something it's in your body and it looks like a tree. Like that is definitely a design creation from whoever you believe created this place. If you believe in that, I believe someone created this because that's just not a thing that's just gonna like happenstance. A thing in your womb when you're growing life, looking like a tree, and
Yeah.
that tree in the system of like roots and things bringing nutrients up to the that's the way the system of a tree works. The roots bring up all the nutrients and stuff, and so for that to be the same thing happening in your body, I think that's it's incredible and miraculous, and also scientific. So, I think with that being said, I've already kind of given myself away and answered this, but yes, I do believe in miracles. Like I believe in it with my full entire body. Um, I've honestly seen and heard about miracles so much very early in life too, because growing up in the church there was always like a heavy emphasis on miracles and the like. But even in my own family there were all these tales of like these happenings that couldn't be explained away by anything other than miraculous intervention. So for instance, a few years before I was born, my grandmother got cancer, and it was like a late stage cancer. I think it was lung cancer. And from the stories that were, retold, it was so bad at one point that the doctors called in the family and like, hey, you guys gonna need to make arrangements. Like she's dying. There's nothing else to be done. It's like very quickly go like hospice type of situation, right? But according to family lore, my grandmother talked my grandfather into checking her out of the hospital and driving her halfway across the country to our family church where they prayed over her and she was healed. She lived another 20 plus years, right? That is a miracle if ever there was one. And even my own mother actually died twice. If you're new to the podcast, my mother is passed away now, but she died before that. She died the first time on an operating table and was no longer living for like 5 minutes or so. Like she was dead, but she was brought back, and she also lived for many more years after that. So those are the stories from other people, but even for myself, after my mom passed, I was just devastated, obviously. And I remember going to my campus mailbox, and having it was my birthday. So my mom passed away maybe like a couple weeks before my birthday. So it was my birthday, and I'm just like, devastated, obviously. I opened my mailbox, and there is a letter that has my name on it. It's a birthday card, Jessica. I open it up, and it says, Jessica, all the shit that my mom would say, love, mom. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is crazy. I looked at it eventually and recognized that it wasn't the right Jessica, but just the fact that it was in my mailbox, it was things that, it just was like this. It was a miracle in and of it. Like, of all mailboxes, of all names, of all everything, there are ways to explain it away, but I just felt like that was one of the miraculous things that happened to me personally. And I believe being so close to stories like those and a million others I have, for myself even, has allowed the belief in miracles in my own life. So that's my definition, and that is my answer. I do believe in miracles. Why
I'm
you like that?
cause I'm like, yo, twice?
Yeah.
Wow.
Twice. Yeah. Yeah. And when you're in close proximity to something like that, you can't help but believe.
I definitely believe. I would
Yeah.
definitely believe. Wow.
What about
Wow.
you? What's your definition? Or did you have
Oh
more
man.
questions? I know you
I
be
don't I
more
don't
questions.
have I asked my question two times?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just get into my definition
Okay. Perfect.
then.
Perfect.
So, excuse me. So I already told you that I went biblical with it when the topic came up, and then I found that to be a little unsettling for me. So I decided to, be aware of that and where it came from, which obviously is conditioning from youth, and then to ask myself again and really sit with it. It's like, what is a miracle? And what I came up with is a miracle is a moment where something happens outside of your scope of knowledge that connects you with the idea of something existing beyond yourself and your level of comprehension, giving a hopeful and divine hue to your world.
Yeah.
So that's essentially, I feel like, akin to Google's definition.
Yeah.
And I feel like that miracle or that moment can be attributed to God, source, spirit, the universe, the Big Bang, whatever exists beyond you. And you have this feeling that they got you, that you're
Right.
supported on your journey. So that is my definition. When I sat with myself and I, just blocked everything out, what
Mm-hmm.
is a miracle to me? And I do believe in miracles.
Nice.
Otherwise, my definition would be a lot different. So, my miracle moment for me,
Mm-hmm.
um, gosh, this topic really made me think about all of the moments that I've had. Because I feel like I'm living in one right now. Like
Yeah.
I did not foresee me being here.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so happy because if I had, I probably would have fucked it up with what I thought I knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but the moment that really shifted everything for me,
Mm-hmm.
death in a way is a miracle
Mm-hmm.
because it really, like, that was like the beginning. Like when my mom passed away, like whatever I was, whatever pace I was at, whatever movements I was making, they came to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like, I don't want to say like I guess like a piece of me kind of died with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it was a piece that needed to go. It was like the end of a
Mm.
cycle and just kind of a beginning of something else.
Yeah.
Um, so my miracle moment was when my mom was sick and I was running
Yeah.
myself ragged, trying to stay on my feet and look like I was being productive and attentive instead of falling apart, because that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember coming home or returning to her house. Um, and I had probably showered, hopefully, like sometime the day before.
Not hopefully.
I really couldn't tell you. I hadn't had a haircut in probably like a month and a half, and I had, waves at that time. And wolfing is one thing, but I was at the point where my waves were pretty set in, so I wasn't really trying to grow my hair out and create connections. Let's not go on this long tangent.
Okay.
I needed a haircut. you
Mm-hmm.
know. And in my haste to get down to my mom, I didn't know I was going to be staying so long. I thought I was going to be there for like 2 days. So I just brought like a couple of outfits, and I ended up staying there for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to like Target and I got like some shirts, like a plain like black shirt, gray shirt, like in a pack, like a Hanes pack.
Yeah.
And I just kept wearing those shirts on rotation and the
Mm-hmm.
jeans that I brought with me
Mm-hmm.
over and over again. So that's not like me at all. Like clearly, I like colors, I like options. I
Yeah.
had one pair of shoes. I was just not me at all.
Right.
And so I get home and I'm tired. I just came back from running errands, probably like racing a crackhead to get some pills or something, get a prescription filled for my mom,
Mm-hmm.
not for me. My
Okay. Yeah.
um and I checked the mail and there was a sample razor in the mail. The ones that
Yeah.
do as a promotional deal. They're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
try this," and they hope that you run to Target and just go buy it, you know?
Right.
And it was addressed to me. And I had not lived at this house for probably 5 or 6 years. I had lived several other places. There were other places this razor could have gone. But in
Mhm.
this moment, it was sitting in her mailbox addressed to me. And it shook me. It broke me in
Yeah.
the best way possible. Because like I clearly understood the sign. It was the first time I felt like God, universe, source, spirit, my buddy Gus,
Yeah.
uh, was talking to me
Mm-hmm.
and I actually understood. And that nigga was like, take care of yourself. Clean
Yes.
yourself up.
Wow.
I heard the message loud and clear. I took that shower that
Praise him.
I was a little questionable on. I found a barber who was conveniently up the street, but I just in my mind, I wasn't able to just go.
Yeah.
Um, I bought me a new pair of jeans in addition to the ones I was already wearing every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and some new shirts, and I took a nap. I went to sleep. I took care of myself.
Yeah.
Um, and for the first time, I felt like someone other than like the people around me or who I expected to take care of me or who I knew was looking out for me. I felt like there was something else watching me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it was like my first experience with the beyond.
Yeah.
And it felt like more than a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences either,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, so it was the beginning of so many signs for me. It was the beginning of me observing and listening, and it was the beginning of my faith blossoming.
Yeah.
And it seems small, but I felt so taken care of in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it was exactly what I needed, and it was presented in a way that I could see it and I could receive it. And I feel like that was a miracle in itself.
Wow. Wow. That is really incredible. I love to hear about the miracles in people's lives. I don't know. It's very fascinating to see, what was miraculous to you. I do have a question though.
Oh,
Why do you feel like miracles exist?
why do I feel like miracles exist?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's so much we don't know. We don't
Mm-hmm.
even know why we're here. We don't know why we're floating in this, like, what, blue and black, like, blob of whatever this is.
Right.
Like, we don't know what any of this is. Yeah, we've labeled things. Oh, this is gravity. Okay, why?
Right.
Why gravity?
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
we're
so
on
we
Earth.
don't float into space, but yeah,
Well,
go
yes.
ahead. We
Yeah.
got that one.
Yes. But, like, who created all this? Like, I feel
Right.
like us being here is a miracle.
Wow, that is real shit. High key. High key. I think if I had to answer why miracles, it's because, well, shit, I don't know, but I'm just speculating that life is a variety of fucked up shit. Sometimes life can be really, really scary or frightening or harmful or traumatic. It can be a lot of things. But I think to look outside of yourself and, like you say, to know that there is a beyond that is um, maybe on the lookout for just something that can just take you one more step further than you could take yourself. Like you could have gone up the street, you could have done the shower, you could have done all those things, but just to get a sign that says, "Come on now, take care of yourself. You can do this." Just so you can do this from something beyond you, something beyond people, something beyond your circumstance is just. I don't know. It's fucking dope.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Did you want to add anything to that or shall we go to the impact?
I think we should move on to the impact.
Okay. So we're to the impact. And I think the impact for me is that I believe in the impossible.
Mm.
I
Ooh.
believe the impossible can be possible. Like I
Mm.
really, really legitimately do. Like I know that one day I will fly. And I don't mean in an airplane. And I'm being kind of ridiculous, but also I feel like maybe.
I mean,
You never know.
when they were creating planes, I'm sure people thought they were crazy.
Exactly. But so also another impact or implication of this is that like so when I was younger, we were also taught to be kind to everyone, because you never know who could be an angel on earth that you're interacting with. In fact, fun story for another day maybe. My older brother and I saw what to this day I still believe was an angel. Um, right. Isn't that interesting? Um,
What? Maybe you're about to answer this.
yes.
What made you feel like they were an angel?
Well, okay. Yeah, here we go. So, okay, well,
Here
let
we
me just
go.
finish, then I will tell y'all the story.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, I guess the impact, like I said, I guess the impact is that I still believe in treating people with kindness. And I have an expectation, or rather, an understanding that sometimes amazing shit can happen outside of your control. And the impact also is I have a general glass half full perspective about most things in life. And it helps me create the kind of environment that I want to continue living in on most days. Just in general. There are bad days and there are this and that, but like overall, I think the impact of knowing that there are miraculous things that could happen at any moment kind of gives me like a little bit of hope. Kind of gives me a little
Yeah.
bit of excitement for tomorrow because you never know what's going to happen,
Exactly.
right?
Right.
So to the angel story.
Hmm.
Um, So I lived in a house across the street from my elementary school, and there was a long fence that went all the way around the school. So there were only like two entry points where just you could walk in, but the rest were like it was fenced in, like a what is it, not barbed wire, the fence that you could see through,
Like the
wire
chain
fence
link.
or something like that. Maybe oh yeah,
Chain
yeah.
link.
I think so. So we had a long porch, and then on one side of the porch there was this huge tree. It was I don't know what kind of tree it was, but there was a huge tree where the bristles, the branches, the whatever, it was green from top to bottom. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
It was just a green tree, so like there was no part that was like you could see through. It was
Okay.
just a green. Yeah, okay. So we're standing there, and it was like dusk, and there is this man or somebody walking um, on the other side by like across the street on by the school by the chain link fence. He's on the outside closest to the street of the chain link fence. So he's just walking. And we see him and we're playing and it's really nothing. But then he goes and he gets to the end of the porch and he's by the tree and then he just doesn't come back out the other side of the tree. And so we're like, oh, well, maybe he climbed the fence. So we run to see that he didn't climb the fence. And this person is just gone. They have disappeared. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like it was an angel. It could have also been some other thing. But that was my understanding at the time. And that's what I still carry with me. But yeah, this person literally just disappeared. And still to this day, I'm like, okay, yeah.
I mean, I think that's the understanding you need to have because I don't
Yeah.
believe in a coincidence. So that sets something in your head, which is a miracle in itself.
Yeah. Isn't that
Um,
wild?
it is what I'm like, huh? Angel or time traveler,
Ooh, I don't
right?
know. I've seen things a lot. It could be time traveler. I'm not gonna say that. But I've always been, even when I was like really young, my family told me about this, and I sort of remember for myself that I saw the angels that came down to protect my pawpaw when he was passing away, and I'm like, somebody's in there with him. Like he's really tall and this, and I'm not going in there. And they're like, no, that's just his angels. And then I was like, oh, okay. But there was no one in there.
I have like a creepy story that kind of makes me think of like angels.
Tell me.
Um, One is it's all like I said, this all I feel like this all happens when around death.
Okay.
And that's why we need to have a whole death episode. We need to really stop being so afraid of death because it's there's a beauty in it.
Hmm.
If you can get past the grief,
Right.
which a lot of us have a really hard time. Trust me, I'm still struggling.
Yeah.
But I remember my mom was like she was on her way out, right?
Hmm.
But she was having one of her like more lucid, coherent days
Yeah.
until like this time where she was watching like The Price is Right, and then I kind of came in to check in on her, and she was like, I was like, "How are you? You like how you doing?" And
Yeah.
she's like, "I'm fine. If this lady would just like move." So I look around.
She said, what lady?
I said, "What lady?" And she was like, "This white lady. If she would just move, so I could see the TV." And I was like, I was like, "No one's here." I did take her to the hospital immediately, but like, I do feel like maybe someone
An angel.
probably, and I feel like my mom really fought
Yeah.
going, and I
Yeah.
think she was in like deep negotiation for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks before she just decided, okay, I'm gonna
Wow.
go ahead and head out.
Yeah.
Because like and I feel like that lady was probably like, it's time to go.
Like, I wish she'll just move.
And she's probably like, hold up, Price is Right. Like, let me
Right.
finish this. Let me make it to Thanksgiving. Like,
Right.
chill, you
Right.
know?
Wow. That is
But
very interesting. Like, if you've ever, like you said about, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. You
I
still
was gonna
want.
say that's not even like the one though. The one that really got me, and I may have said this, is
Um,
that my mom, when she passed away, they and I can't remember if this happened like the day before she passed away or after they like came and got her from the house.
mhm.
But I remember the doorbell rang at like some really odd time at night.
Yeah.
And I opened the door and I didn't see anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I just knew, I was like, somebody came in here to get her. I think it was before she passed away. I think it was the day before she passed away.
Mm.
And I had a dream before that of like my grandmother, like but my grandmother was still alive.
Yeah.
But like like my grandmother had dementia. My grandmother died like 2 months after my mom passed away.
Mhm.
So in this dream, my grandmother, like somebody drove her to the house. Like I opened the door and my grandmother walked to like my mom's bedroom, and like they had like a conversation. They embraced, they cried.
Okay. Okay.
And then that was probably also like a day or two before my mom passed away. So it was just like a lot going on.
Yeah. That's
Um,
really
Oh,
interesting.
and this is the interesting part about the doorbell.
Uh,
That doorbell did not work.
what?
It did not work. It did not work.
Wow. Wow, that is so incredible. That is so, it's so, it's so fascinating. And like you said, we should do an episode, actually on death because I think I'm ready for it. I think I'm ready to talk about it and just like really delve into it because it's such an interesting, if you've ever been around, somebody that you're close to, surrounding them like up until they pass or even when they pass, just the connections that you have. Like I even have a story about my grandmother when she passed. Like I felt it. Like I felt what was happening to her in
Mm.
California. She was in Georgia and I was in California, and I couldn't breathe and my heart felt weird and all this stuff, and then she had had a heart attack like that night. Yeah. And it's just it's very interesting. That's a whole nother topic. Wow.
Right. Right.
Wow. That was wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
when you ask why, this is why.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
why.
This is why. You didn't say your impact though. What is the impact of this
Oh,
for you?
I forgot about that. Okay. So the impact has been that my miracle or the miracles that I've experienced, they connected me with something beyond myself
Yeah.
and beyond what I knew. And it gave me hope. Like you said, it helped me to feel supported and feel more comfortable with the unknown so that I could relinquish control and ask for help And as soon as I did, all of the support just kind of came in from unsuspecting and divine places. And
Yeah.
I didn't know these people, these places, or these things even existed.
Mhm.
Also, the impact was that I realized that I was worthy of a miracle.
Wow. Yeah.
Because I did not feel that way before.
Yeah.
And I also realized that miracles do not have to be some grand gesture like the resurrection of Christ. It
Mhm.
can be randomly meeting someone who a year later ends up being the co host of a podcast you never even considered
Hey.
having until you met them.
Oh my God, I'm a miracle. Oh, I could cry.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm not even going to. I'm not even going to be shady. It is, it does feel like a miracle
Yeah.
how it all came together.
Yeah.
Um, and it's something I really needed.
Mm.
And I've had such a transformation just doing this, meeting you. So, yes,
Same. Honestly,
yes,
same.
yes.
Wow.
And I could never see this. This was not in my understanding
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the miracles are those moments when you face your fear and realize that you were the only thing holding you back,
Mhm.
and everything is okay. It's that
Yeah.
moment when someone randomly sends you $50 out of nowhere and one of your worries disappears.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like miracles happen every day for me. So, but I think the most important piece is that the more I realize that miracles exist, the more I see them.
That's real shit.
Right.
That is real shit. Wow. Wow. I love that. I love all of that you said. That was fucking phenomenal. Um, so I think we are to the cope now then. Is that right?
We are at the
Okay.
code.
Perfect. Well, I cope by being aware of the miracles in my own life.
Hmm.
I see the blessings all around and I remain grateful. I stay in a state of gratitude, seeing little miracles all around, like everywhere. So for me, life and death are not the only times we see miracles. Similarly to what you said, sometimes it's the smallest gesture from a stranger on your lowest days, the kindness that you need just to go like a little bit further. Even for me, like I live in LA and street parking is like the main thing here, and it can be a hassle. But nearly every day, I have found parking close to my house. I asked the universe for that, and I have received it. It seems small, but as a woman coming home some nights at midnight or later from rehearsals and being able to park close to my home is a tiny miracle. And I'm grateful for that every single time because it doesn't have to be, you know? All in all, I cope with an ever increasing joy for this miraculous life.
That's amazing. I like when you say sometimes it's the smallest gesture from a stranger on
Yeah.
your lowest days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man.
It's true. You know, the other day, I was out with some friends and they had a little bit of leftover food that was like, mainly full. And they were like, okay, we need to go find somebody that could use this. So we are just doing our normal drive and we see a gentleman. He's just on the side of the road. He's propped up, and it's hot out. And we give him the food and just to see his expression, to know that that was a moment in his life that I don't know if it transformed him, but I could feel from him just a gratitude for the kindness. I will say that. And so you just never know what you being kind to someone means.
Hmm.
Just being a light, just listening to yourself. Because there are days where you feel like, you know what, I should tell her her shoes are beautiful. You know what, I should smile a little bit at this one. And those are the miracles. Like something's using you to be miraculous, and so we don't need to discount that. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It
Yeah.
just really, I just had this thought. I'm like, what if we really are like our own angels and we just don't
Yeah.
realize it? You know
Yeah.
how because my mom, she had a friend named Diane who
Mhm.
passed away before my mom did.
Yeah.
And when I say I felt like this lady was an angel,
Hmm.
this lady was an angel, and
Hmm.
she was just like the nicest person,
Yeah.
and she was an angel. And it's
Yeah.
like, how many people, sometimes we don't even know when we're being an angel. Like you said, you
Right.
just feel moved. You just feel
Yeah.
like, you know what? I should tell this person you look good. That's happened. It's happened to me where
Mhm.
somebody's looked at me and be like, oh, you look good. I was like, me? That's exactly what I needed to hear. Thank
Right.
you.
Right.
And it lifts your spirit
Hmm.
and it takes you out of whatever funk that you were in. It's just, so in a way we're our own angels, and we're out here passing around miracles.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
If we were
true.
to take the time to acknowledge and have worth in ourselves, that we can be angels, that we can, you know, create miracles.
Agreed. Agreed. So what about you? How are you coping?
Ah man, so coping. Like I mean, miracles. I'm realizing miracles are just those moments where you feel loved and supported. You
Yeah.
know, as a human, those are miracles,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So I feel like I'm coping by keeping my eyes, nose, and ears open to what the universe is trying to tell me,
Yeah.
and how it's trying to support me, or and
Hmm.
trying to use me to support others. I just added that in.
I like it.
Um, yeah, because I like the idea. I'm like, maybe I am like an angel. Maybe I have some angel-like qualities, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Like, here, maybe I could be somebody's miracle. Like, you know, and you don't think it's that big of a deal. You give somebody $2 and they haven't eaten in days.
Hmm.
That's a miracle to them,
Hmm.
you know? Or just seeing them after like hundreds of people have walked past them.
Hmm.
That's a
Hmm.
miracle to them, you know? Um, so yeah, the things that I just I cope by remembering the things that have come together for me and
Yeah.
brought me back to myself despite my body and my ego mind taking a world tour of what we thought we knew, only to
Right.
be like, yo, you forgot something. It's me. You forgot me, your
Yeah.
soul,
Your
that
soul.
connection to source, like
Wow.
who you actually are.
Hmm.
You forgot me though,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
I'm coping by never forgetting and practicing when I get ahead of myself, just chilling, getting still, getting quiet, looking around and doing a count, doing taking an assessment. Be
Yeah.
like, okay, who's all with me? Who's all there?
Hmm.
You know, mind, body, and soul. Because like if any of us are missing, we ain't moving.
I know that's right.
So overall, I cope by looking for miracles, expecting them, and knowing that I am worthy of them. And now I'm going to add, and worthy of giving them,
I love
worthy of
that.
receiving them and giving them.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. This has been a really fun topic. When I first thought about it, I thought about all the things that happened in my life. And I feel like, I know I talk a lot about how the church has done a lot of damage to me and a lot of the community that I've been around. But I feel like being exposed to these kind of things early has definitely been an advantage. This is an experience that I felt I've had often and over again. And for that, I really am grateful, because it's just something so hopeful about it, I think, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess now we're to the recap, or did you have anything you wanted to add before I do that?
I just want to say for this being an Easter episode, like I really like this episode. Like you
Hmm.
said, I really like it. It's really hopeful. You know, the murder of Christ never was really a hopeful story to me
Right.
because it's murder. You
Murder.
know, like and they tried to make it look nice. Yeah, let me be quiet. The killing of the resurrection. Yes.
Wow.
Um.
You feel away.
Yes.
Hmm.
No, no. This is hopeful. I like this. I'm like,
Okay.
okay, this gives me a hopeful feeling about Easter. It's not
Okay.
so like dim and like murdery.
I'm not murdering. Lord Jesus. How we get here?
Yeah. Now you call it Lord Jesus.
Oh, well, that's
That's
just
how we got here.
right. You're right. That's how we got here. I don't even be recognizing. But no, are we to the recap now?
Yes.
Okay,
Please.
cool. All
Please
right.
shut me up.
Let me just go on and take that back from you. Let me just take that back from you, sugar. Okay, so to recap, it does seem like both Rena and myself have found that we both found that we have similar understanding that oftentimes miracles are small and nearly undetectable, but if you open your eyes and your hearts, you might become aware of the miracles all around you, and begin to know that you are divinely protected and guided by the God or universe or source, whatever you feel like is your creator or the source of what is good for you. So that is the recap, and I just hope that this has been a fun episode for you. I hope that you are able to see and appreciate the miracles that have happened in your life. I hope that you will be a miracle to someone else, and that's just being kind, taking a little step out of your way to help somebody else along this journey, because none of us know what we're doing here. But I do know that kindness has never been a thing that I regretted. I will
Mm,
say that.
mm.
It has never been a thing that I regretted. Um, I do want to do a shout out right now. I want to shout out to everyone who has been a miracle in someone else's life, for listening to that little voice telling you to smile at the stranger and unknowingly giving them a reason to push forward just a little bit more. I want to shout out to all those who are starting to recognize the little miracles in your own life.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I need that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I need that in the email signature.
I
Like that's
got
how much I love that. I need that on a voicemail.
I love that. Yeah.
You
Maybe I'll.
know? Yes. Yes.
What about you?
Um, I just want to give a shout out to Gillette and their stalker like marketing, which led them to sending me a free razor to an address that I no longer lived at but was conveniently at that time, and changing my life.
Look at Gillette. Come on,
Not
Gillette.
Gillette. Thank you. Thank you for your guerrilla marketing tactics, complete invasion
Changed
of
my life.
privacy. So, yes,
That's
because I
beautiful.
needed it.
What a lovely shout out.
You can endorse us for
Period.
only the price of a cup of coffee a day.
Oh my
You
God, you
can
can
support this
sponsor
podcast.
us. Listen, literally, literally. But I think that brings us to the meditation, right?
It does. Take it
Okay.
away, Jess.
Right. Well, if you are new, you don't know, but you soon will find out. This is my favorite part of the podcast. We're going to do a little meditation. We'll take a couple deep breaths. We'll set an intention, do a couple more breaths, and then we'll let you go about your day. So, what I want you to do for me is to take a big, deep breath. We'll take a second deep breath. And take one more deep breath. All right, now we'll set our intention. I intend to continue to see miracles, to continue to be grateful, and to continue to listen to the small voice that tells me to be kind to others so that I too may become a miracle for them.
Wow. I want to steal that intention. Yes, my intention is just to continue to seek out ways to receive miracles and to be miracles for others.
I love that. All right, we'll take our last set of breaths. Take a big deep breath with me. We'll take a second deep breath. And we'll take our last deep breath. All right. Your intentions have been set for the day. Go out there and flourish, sis. Today doesn't have to be a mess.
But it's okay if it is.
Show Liz, y'all. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate your continued support. It has been really phenomenal to really interact with you, to see you guys sharing and posting and just giving us so much love. It has been so helpful for myself. I know I use this as a little therapy for myself every week or every 2 weeks, and just knowing that you guys are listening has also been just so much fun and like exciting. We have a lot of fun things in the works for you. If you are watching the YouTube, shout out to our YouTube. You can see Rena has on something that is like in the works for you guys. Do you want to stand up right now and do a little
Oh,
show and tell? Give them a little
I
show and
mean,
tell.
there you go.
Period, poo. If you're only listening on the podcast, maybe head over to the YouTube so you can see at this mark, see what we're talking about. We've got a lot of things in store for you guys. And so yeah, I hope you guys will continue to rock with us because we're gonna be fucking with y'all forever and ever and ever.
Forever,
Amen.
ever, and ever.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I just felt like a cold ass HSN model just now.
Yeah,
Like,
doing that shit.
right,
Killing the game.
right. No, I just want to say I appreciate all of you. I appreciate this podcast. It has been a miracle for me,
So,
and I hope in a way it's been a miracle for some of y'all.
yeah. Yeah. You usually say this, and I don't know if you're going to do it, but I'll do it just in case you forgot. Sunday, we will be doing a live. Or actually, I apologize. That is incorrect. It will be Monday.
Mm-hmm.
We will be doing a live, and that is 9:30 Pacific, 6:30. Oh, I lied. That'll be 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. I don't know why we get so time tied on this. Like we don't do this every time. Basically, it's gonna be 9:30 over there on the East Coast, 6:30
Six
on the West
thirty.
Coast. If you somewhere
Right.
in between there, you're gonna have to figure out the times for yourself. But no, I guess
Yeah.
that's it. Is there anything else that we need to tell them?
Nope, that's it. I hope to see you guys on Monday. It'll be April 5th. And join us. And I want to hear y'all miracles. I want to
Yes,
hear them
I do
because
too.
I'm sure people have been experiencing miracles and I mean, you can define it according to your own definition, but I feel like miracles happen every day, B.
Every day, B. Yes, y'all, come on and tune in with us and let us know. We'd love to hear it. But until then, we're gonna catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
Peace.
It's a mess.
Hey, that's why
It's
I
a
can't sing.
mess. It's okay. He's gonna talk over my singing though. Okay, it's ready now.